Hi, how you doing? Well, today I want to talk about being somebody. When you were a kid, you were schooled in becoming somebody. And, you know, that's what it was. That was what it was all about. Okay. And as you became more and more of a somebody, okay, you lost your access to being nobody. When you're born, you're nobody. Okay? You're like a lump of flesh who has no identity. But as your identity gets built around you, you become somebody. And, I've heard that babies have their own special talk and they have a lot of wisdom. And this is because they're nobody. Okay? And so they have access to the spiritual realm. Okay, that's my opinion. Now, everybody becomes a somebody. Now, who that somebody is really up to their environment and a lot of other things. But as you become more and more of a somebody, okay, you lose your connection to God because all of that is taken up by the somebodyness that you are. Now, in order to wake up, you need to lose that somebodyness. Okay? And that somebodyness is all part of your fake identity. Okay? And as long as you are in the fake identity, you're going to be somebody. Okay? And that could include titles and names and things of that nature. Okay? But being somebody or a somebody is pretty much of a dead end. Your mind is in control. Not your mind, but your ego, your fake identity is in control. And you don't have any power to do anything beyond what your fake identity tells you to do. Okay? So, what the whole point of waking up is to lose that somebodyness. Okay? And, in everyday life, okay, that somebodyness is important because it's the way that you deal with life. Okay? Now, every person has a unique somebodyness that they are. Okay? And that somebodyness is what tells you who you are. Your identity is wrapped up in that. Okay? The problem with identity is that it's limiting. Okay? And once you have attained your somebodyness, then you're limited to that. Okay? If you're a doctor, then that's all you are is you're a doctor. Okay? However much you want to be more than a doctor, you're closed into being a doctor. Okay? Or a professor or whatever. Okay? So, how do we escape the somebodyness that we are? Well, for one thing, you have to recognize who you really are. Okay? And that takes the limits off. So, who really are you really? You're a soul. Okay? And what is the makeup of that soul? Love, joy, peace, creativity, wisdom. Okay? And you can't access any of that stuff as long as you're a somebody. Now, I know this is kind of a hard concept to accept, but by being a somebody, you're cutting off who you really are. Okay? And the longer you cling to that somebody, the more you're going to be limited to being that somebody. Okay? Now, this is a thorny issue because everybody has become a somebody, and it's really hard to tear yourself away from being that somebody. And whatever that somebody is, it could be negative or positive, it's ruling who you are. Okay? So, who are you? Okay? Maybe you think you're a doctor, you think you're a lawyer, you think you're a janitor, or you think you're whatever. Okay? And whoever you think you are, that's your somebodyness. Look, I don't know everything, obviously. Okay? But I do know that in order to wake up, you need to let that go. Okay? That's like the most important thing you have to let go. Okay? And your somebodyness is limiting who you can be. Okay? Now, everybody has this somebodyness, and it's part of the ego or the fake identity. And to let go of that somebodyness means you have to let go of the past, because that somebodyness came out of the past. Okay? As you know, there is no past, there is no future, there is only now. It's the only thing we have. Anyway, to get back to it, why do you think you're somebody? Because you were told that you're going to become a somebody, okay? By your parents, by the state, by whoever you dealt with, okay? And as you went to school, they taught you to become a somebody. Part of that somebody was being a student. I'm a student. That's who I am, okay? But really, you weren't a student, okay? You were a soul. But they didn't tell you that. They let that part go, okay? So, the ego, okay, or the fake identity, which is how I like to refer to it, is, as I say, it's running your life, but also it's part of who you are when you're a somebody, okay? To get to the point of not being a somebody, okay, you have to let that go. You can still be a doctor, but if you make being a doctor or a lawyer or a janitor or whatever you are a part of you, it becomes your identity, your fake identity, and that's gonna limit you, okay? I mean, I don't know everything, that's for sure, but I do know that being this somebody that you are is stopping you from accepting what is, okay? Because as far as the somebody's concerned, what is a very limited parameter of reality, okay? And that's a problem. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have a job or that you can't be a doctor, but if you make that doctor, that job, part of who you are, then you're going to be sad. You're going to be unhappy, because unhappiness is based on not knowing who you really are, okay? To escape that feeling of unhappiness, you have to know who you really are, okay? Now, everything in this world is geared to make you into a somebody, okay? In fact, the U.S. government wants you to become a somebody because then you're controllable, okay? I know it's hard to accept, but that's just the way it is, okay? And every time you accept the somebodyness that everyone is forcing you to become, a little piece of you okay? That spiritual connection that you have, okay, sort of dies, okay? And that makes for unhappiness. So, what is unhappiness? Unhappiness is a dissatisfaction with the way things are, okay? You've been programmed and you've been conditioned to accept your programming, okay? And that makes you unhappy because you are not a computer. This program is not part of you. You think it's part of you, but it's not, okay? You are a being, okay? And that being is a soul. So, try to accept that you are not somebody, okay? You are a soul. You are a being of light, okay? And as a being of light, you have access to all the love, peace, and joy that you deserve to have. Okay, not love in the romantic sense, but the love of God. Anyway, I guess that's enough for now. I love you all because you're me. And as long as you are trying to be a somebody, then you're gonna be unhappy. So, I guess that's it. If you have any questions or comments about what I'm saying, then please comment them so that I can answer them. Alright, well, have a great life, and remember who you really are.